Once upon a time, in a bustling city filled with dreams and ambitions, there was a young woman named Emily. Emily had always been intrigued by the idea of being a high-value woman, but she wasn't quite sure what that meant or how to achieve it. Growing up, Emily had seen strong, confident women in movies and read about them in books. She admired their poise, their independence, and their ability to command respect wherever they went. But for Emily, becoming a high-value woman seemed like an elusive goal, something reserved for a select few. Determined to unlock the secrets of being a high-value woman, Emily embarked on a journey of self-discovery. She started by reflecting on her own strengths and weaknesses, identifying areas where she could improve and grow. First and foremost, Emily knew that she had to cultivate self-confidence. She began practicing self-care routines, nourishing her body and mind with healthy food, exercise, and plenty of rest. She surrounded herself with positive influences and let go of toxic relationships that held her back. But being a high-value woman wasn't just about looking good on the outside. It was also about nurturing her inner qualities. Emily worked on developing her intellect, pursuing her passions, and continuously learning and growing. She embraced her uniqueness, celebrating her quirks and talents instead of trying to fit into society's mold. As Emily's confidence grew, so did her assertiveness. She learned to set boundaries and communicate her needs and desires with clarity and grace. She refused to settle for anything less than she deserved and walked away from anyone who didn't appreciate her worth. But perhaps the most important lesson Emily learned on her journey to becoming a high-value woman was the power of kindness and compassion. She treated others with respect and empathy, lifting them up instead of tearing them down. It was about knowing her worth, embracing her unique gifts and talents, and unapologetically owning her power. With newfound clarity, Mia set out on a journey of self-discovery. She began to recognize her strengths and weaknesses, embracing her flaws as part of what made her beautifully imperfect. She silenced the voice of self-doubt that had long plagued her mind and instead focused on nurturing a deep sense of self-worth from within. One of the most important lessons Mia learned on her journey was the importance of setting boundaries. She had always been a people pleaser, putting the needs of others before her own and sacrificing her own happiness in the process. But she soon realized that by neglecting her own well-being, she was doing herself a disservice. With courage and determination, Mia began to set boundaries in her life. She learned to say no to things that didn't align with her values or bring her joy, and she refused to tolerate mistreatment or disrespect from others. Though it wasn't easy at first, Mia found that the more she honored her boundaries, the more respect she received from those around her. As Mia continued on her journey, she focused on cultivating self-confidence from within. She practiced daily affirmations, reminding herself of her worth and capabilities. She surrounded herself with positive influences and challenged herself to step out of her comfort zone regularly, embracing new opportunities for growth and self-discovery. With each small victory, Mia's confidence grew stronger. She walked with her head held high, radiating a quiet strength and poise that drew others to her like a magnet. And as she embraced her own power, she found that she was able to inspire and uplift those around her as well. Perhaps the most transformative aspect of Mia's journey was learning to embrace her authenticity fully. She had spent so much of her life trying to fit into society's mold, hiding behind masks and facades in an effort to please others. She understood that true strength was not about dominating others but about lifting them up and helping them reach their full potential. Through her journey, Emily discovered that being a high-value woman wasn't about conforming to society's standards or trying to be someone she wasn't. It was about embracing her authentic self, loving herself unconditionally, and living her life with purpose and integrity. And as Emily walked confidently down the streets of the city, her head held high and her heart full of love, she knew that she had become the high-value woman she had always admired, a woman of strength, grace, and limitless potential. In the heart of a bustling metropolis, amidst the towering skyscrapers and bustling streets, there lived a young woman named Mia. Mia had always felt a spark within her, a desire to rise above the ordinary and become the best version of herself. Little did she know, her journey would lead her to discover the true essence of high-value womanhood. Mia had grown up in a modest neighborhood, surrounded by hardworking parents, who instilled in her the values of determination and resilience. From a young age, she dreamed of making a difference in the world, of leaving behind a legacy that would inspire others to reach for the stars. But as Mia stepped into adulthood, she found herself grappling with self-doubt and insecurities. She yearned to break free from the limitations that held her back, to rise above the expectations of others and carve out her own path in life. It wasn't until one fateful day, while browsing through a bookstore, that Mia stumbled upon a book titled Rising Above, a guide to high-value womanhood. Intrigued by the title, she eagerly flipped through its pages, soaking in the wisdom and insights shared within. As Mia delved deeper into the book, she realized that being a high-value woman wasn't about conforming to society's standards or seeking external validation. But she soon realized that true happiness and fulfillment could only come from being true to herself. With courage and vulnerability, Mia let go of the need to please everyone and instead focused on being true to her own values and desires. She spoke her truth unapologetically, pursued her passions with unwavering dedication, and celebrated her uniqueness with pride. And in doing so, she found that she attracted people into her life who loved and accepted her for who she truly was. As Mia's journey came to an end, she stood tall and proud, a shining example of what it means to be a high-value woman. She had learned that true value comes from within, from knowing her worth, setting boundaries, cultivating confidence, and embracing authenticity. And as she looked out at the world with eyes full of hope and possibility, Mia knew that she had truly risen above the challenges and limitations that once held her back. She was no longer content to simply exist, she was determined to thrive, to live life on her own terms, and to inspire others to do the same. For Mia had discovered that the true essence of high-value womanhood lies not in perfection, but in the journey of self-discovery and growth. And as she embraced her own power and potential, she knew that the possibilities were endless. In the heart of a vibrant city, where the streets buzzed with energy and dreams soared high, there lived a woman named Lily. Lily was like a diamond in the rough, waiting to be discovered and polished into brilliance. Little did she know, her journey would lead her through the evolution of becoming a high-value woman. Lily's journey began with a quiet whisper within her soul, urging her to seek more from life. She felt a yearning deep within, a desire to uncover her true essence and purpose. With each passing day, she sensed the stirring of something extraordinary waiting to be awakened within her. Driven by curiosity and determination, Lily embarked on a journey of self-discovery. She explored different facets of herself, delving into her passions, interests, and values. Through introspection and reflection, she began to unearth the seeds of her true potential. As Lily delved deeper into her journey, she encountered moments of self-doubt and insecurity. She struggled to see her own worth, overshadowed by the harsh judgments and expectations of the world around her. But with each setback, she learned to be gentle with herself, to nurture her self-worth like a delicate flower. Lily surrounded herself with positivity and encouragement, seeking out mentors and friends who saw her true value. She practiced self-compassion and forgiveness, letting go of the need for external validation. And as she embraced her inherent worthiness, she began to blossom into the woman she was meant to be. With newfound self-worth as her foundation, Lily turned her focus toward cultivating confidence. She recognized that true confidence comes from within, rooted in a deep sense of self-assurance and belief in one's abilities. Lily challenged herself to step out of her comfort zone, to take risks and embrace new opportunities for growth. She faced her fears head-on, confronting the voices of doubt that whispered in her ear. And with each small victory, her confidence grew stronger, propelling her forward on her journey. One of the most transformative lessons Lily learned on her journey was the importance of setting boundaries. She had always been a people pleaser, sacrificing her own needs and desires to appease others. But she soon realized that true empowerment comes from honoring oneself and respecting one's own limits. Lily began to set clear boundaries in her relationships and interactions, asserting her needs and priorities with grace and conviction. She learned to say no without guilt, to prioritize her own well-being above the demands of others. And as she did so, she reclaimed her power and autonomy,